The arrogance of empire. The Raal Dominion struck without hesitation. Their cruisers descended on Helios 7, a quiet human mining colony nestled on the edge of neutral space. The Dominion's commanders did not fear retaliation. Humanity, they believed, was civilized, fragile, slow to anger. On that day, they broadcast their cruelty across every frequency. The miners were forced into the open as plasma fire ripped through homes. Raal soldiers mocked them, declaring Earth too timid to protect its scattered children. They executed the colony's envoy on live transmission, laughing as the man's final words were cut short by a blade of light. The Dominion's arrogance was absolute. To them, it was a lesson. No one, not even humanity, could stand against their empire. They were wrong. Laughter in the aftermath. In orbit, Dominion captains feasted. Their warships ringed the burned colony like wolves circling bones. They toasted their triumph, joking that Earth's leaders would protest politely, then fade into silence. "Humans are maintenance workers of the galaxy," one admiral sneered. "Let them sweep floors and scrub reactors. They are no warriors." The Raal believed they had ended the matter. Their confidence grew with every echo of their own laughter. They broadcast clips of weeping survivors across neutral networks. The message was clear. This is the fate of those who shelter beneath Earth's wing. The galaxy watched and waited. Shadows in plain sight. What the Raal never noticed was the Janitor. Among the forced labor crews cleaning the colony's hangars, one man moved with deliberate quiet. He wore oil-stained overalls, pushed a battered cart, and kept his eyes down. The Raal guards barely glanced at him. He was nothing. A servant. They did not know his badge number was erased from every Earth registry. They did not know his DNA signature was coded into sealed archives beneath the Atlantic. They did not know that when humanity needed vengeance too cold, too silent for politicians to claim, they sent in one thing. Ghost Protocol. The Janitor was no civilian. He was the blade Earth never admitted existed. The silence before the storm. For days he moved unnoticed. He carried buckets into engine bays, mopped corridors beneath Dominion boots, swept ash from docking clamps. Yet every step, every motion was precise. Behind the disguise, his eyes traced weaknesses: reactor conduits, command relays, fleet comm arrays. He never spoke, he simply worked. Until one night, when his cart slipped into the main reactor hall of the Dominion flagship. The guards laughed at his clumsiness, then fell silent as he stood tall, too tall for a mere cleaner, and whispered words no alien should ever hear. Ghost Protocol activated. By the time alarms blared, it was too late. The breaking of the seal. Explosions tore through the flagship's heart. One by one, reactors across the fleet shuddered, systems collapsing as if struck by invisible blades. Docked soldiers scrambled in panic. Communications died mid-sentence. And then silence. Not the silence of victory, the silence of Earth's answer. Because when Ghost Protocol moved, humanity's fleets followed. The gathering storm. From the black edges of space, ships emerged, first dozens, then hundreds, then thousands. Human dreadnoughts unfolded like ancient leviathans from jump corridors, their armored hulls blotting out starlight. Civilian fleets carried banners of vengeance, gunships lined in perfect formation, carriers humming with squadrons like swarms of steel hornets. The Dominion had mocked janitors, but humanity's maintenance workers were more than cleaners. They were builders of war machines, engineers of annihilation. And when provoked, they unleashed it all. The comms lit up with a single broadcast, repeated across every frequency. Earth remembers, Earth answers. Retribution unleashed. The first salvo struck like the wrath of gods. Human rail cannons tore through Dominion cruisers, splitting them into molten fragments. Missile storms blotted out the sky, carving flaming scars across the void. Fighter wings descended on the surviving frigates, shredding them before their shields could rise. It was not a battle, it was extermination. The Rawls' proud armada, once the terror of rim systems, collapsed in hours. Their command ship tried to flee, but a single human dreadnought, the Atlas, intercepted, its broadside releasing enough energy to shatter moons. The flagship cracked open, its burning carcass dragged into Helios 7's gravity well. The janitor, standing in the colony's ash-strewn courtyard, watched the sky burn. His face betrayed no emotion. His mission was simple: erase the invaders, nothing more. The fear spreads. Across the galaxy, whispers spread faster than the flames. Neutral systems turned off their lights, pretending invisibility. Merchants silenced trade networks, afraid even to speak Earth's name. The Rawl Dominion, once a colossus of unchallenged strength, trembled. Entire sectors sent envoys begging for mercy, but Earth did not answer them. Earth did not need to. The wreckage of Helios 7 spoke louder than words. The galaxy learned in that silence what the Dominion had failed to grasp. Humanity's patience was vast, but when that patience ended, vengeance was infinite. The ashes of Helios 7. The survivors of the colony emerged from hiding, trembling at the devastation above. For them, the janitor was no mere man. He was the specter of retribution, the shadow Earth sent when restraint was broken. He gathered them with calm efficiency, guiding them to safety while the fleets finished their work. When a child asked his name, he did not answer. He simply raised a finger to his lips. Silence was the only answer Ghost Protocol ever gave. The final broadcast. Before Earth's fleets withdrew, a single message was left on every Dominion frequency. A recording of the Rawl Admiral laughing, mocking humans as janitors. And then over it, a human voice. "We clean messes, even yours." The broadcast ended with static, and the galaxy shuddered. Whispers in the void. When the smoke cleared, nothing remained of the Dominion fleet. Helios 7's mines lay in ruins, but the colony still stood, shielded by Earth's iron reprisal. The janitor vanished into the shadows, his presence erased as though he had never existed. No records, no medals, no acknowledgments. Ghost Protocol returned to silence. But across the stars, whispers grew. Survivors repeated them like prayers, their voices hushed as though speaking too loudly would summon the storm again. Never provoke Earth, never. The lesson burned into history. The Rawl Dominion ceased to mock humanity. Other empires drew back their fleets from human borders. Treaties were signed in haste, suddenly filled with concessions. Because in one act, one janitor, one ghost, one fleet, Earth had taught the galaxy its most important lesson. Humanity could endure, humanity could forgive. But when they chose to answer, they answered with silence, with fire, with shadows too deep to resist. And when the storm had passed, only one truth remained. Human vengeance is infinite.